Hello, Insomniacs. It's Kurious Cyclopes.
And Steve.
And we are Never Sleep Again TV. Oh, we gotta say, we definitely missed you guys. Even though we've been pumping out videos regularly, me and Steve, we took a little vacation to edit all those videos for you. So, here we are again. Today, I want to discuss a very interesting horror topic. We want to talk about cursed horror franchises. How I first was even introduced to that whole subject was, you know how around Halloween, Bravo and like all these other stations would have programs about, you know, like top 100 scariest movies. Well, there was specifically an episode where they discussed cursed franchises.
Oh, wow.
And that's the first time I heard that there was a curse behind like The Omen, The Exorcist, Poltergeist, even like Amityville Horror and Rosemary's Baby have their own curse. So, yeah, so, you know, we just want to brush upon some crazy fun facts that has to do with the curses. So, before I do that, let me put on a nice horror shirt for you, which I forgot to do. Oh, yeah. I love that. Okay. All right, on to the horror franchises. So, first I want to start off with the Omen franchise, just because we're going to do it. So, you've seen The Omen, obviously?
Just the first, but yeah.
Alright, just the first one?
Yeah.
Alright, so, we're going to talk about the Omen curses, some of the crazy things that happened. So, apparently, there was a special effects guy named John Richardson. He pretty much worked on all, like, the crazy deaths and all that, like, all the technical crap that happened. So, anyways, the special effects guy, John Richardson, his wife was actually in a car accident with him, and she ended up dying, and apparently she was, like, sliced in half by the car's wheel, I guess, hit her. And people were saying it's ironic because, you know, John Richardson actually had a death in The Omen where there was a car accident, and, you know those panes of glass come flying off of the car, and it cuts that guy in half.
Yeah.
So people were saying, like, wow, what a coincidence that the special effects guy behind all that shit, his wife died in a similar fashion.
Yeah.
And the thing here's the real fucking thing that grabs you. Alright, so, when he became conscious from the accident, the first thing he saw was Omen 666, and I'll spell that for you. He saw the words O-M-M-E-N, so there's just an extra M in there, and he saw 66,6, so Omen 666. And that's because he was in Amen, Netherlands, and he was at the kilometer marker of 66, you know, 0.6 or whatever the kilometer markers are. So not only did his wife die in a similar fashion of, you know, seeing an Omen, but he saw Omen 666 right there. That's fucking crazy. And you already know about some of the lightning strikes and all that. So
right.
Pretty much, Gregory Peck, you know, he took on the role of being Damien's father, who was the son of, you know, the son of the devil. So after he took on the role and agreed to, you know, take the role of Damien's father, his son committed suicide, apparently randomly. Like, no one saw any warning signs of this coming. So, you know, he got a little shooken up from his son's suicide, but it didn't make him back out from, you know, being in the film. So on his way to London for the movie, his plane actually got struck by lightning. And apparently, like, it happened a few other times. Like, for some reason, a big group of planes that they had got hit by lightning. So, yeah, 3 days after Gregory Peck's plane got hit, the screenwriter, whose name was David Seltzer, his plane got hit by lightning too, 3 days after Gregory Peck's. And then, besides that, the producer, his name was Harvey Bernard. While he was in Rome, a lightning bolt just barely missed him and almost struck him. And the reason why people are so kind of freaked out about why is lightning trying to murder everyone involved in the Omen movie is because, again, one of the death scenes in the Omen was a fucking crucifix fell off the top of a church, pierced, you know, the priest, and then it was struck by lightning or whatever. Right. So, you know, obviously, for some reason, they had really bad luck with lightning and the Omen. So to move on from the whole lightning thing, something else that's crazy is they had Rottweilers in the movie that were kind of like, you know, guarding Damien and watching after him. Well, obviously, they were highly trained, like, stunt dogs for movies. Well, apparently, the Rottweiler was attacking a stuntman because, you know, it was supposed to be attacking Damien's dad in the movie, I guess, but whenever they tried to call the Rottweiler off, it wouldn't get off of him, and it started attacking him for real. Like, the dog wasn't attacking him like he was trained to do for the movie. So the dog actually ended up biting through the fucking padding.
Oh, wow.
That the stuntman was wearing. So they kind of got freaked out. Like, what went off in the Rottweiler's head all of a sudden to cause that? Because obviously in the movie the Rottweilers were possessed. So they're like, wow, maybe it was possessed for that moment.
Right.
And I got one more thing to talk about the Omen. So you guys know that, like, when Damien and his parents went to the zoo, all these animals started flipping the fuck out in the movie. Well, something interesting is they had a cat wrangler for the movie. I guess he handled tigers for the Omen. Well, it turns out that the cat wrangler who worked at a local zoo, when he was in the lion area, somehow a tiger got out of its, like, I guess, vicinity, and the tiger ended up attacking the cat wrangler and killed him.
Oh, wow.
So that guy ended up dying. So, and there's some other things that went on, but the general thing is all these people involved, they're all almost getting hit by lightning. They're all getting attacked and killed. So that was a big freaky thing about the Omen. All right, well, I want to move on now to the Exorcist franchise. This actually was probably the first time I heard of a horror curse over a franchise.
Same here.
But, again, I saw it probably on Bravo or something years ago. But anyway, pretty much the shooting got delayed because the house for the film caught on fire. And everyone was blown the fuck away because somehow everything was burnt to a crisp except Reagan's bedroom. Apparently, Reagan's bedroom was unscathed, unharmed, and it still was standing. And that kind of freaked everyone out. But I guess what caused the fire is a pigeon got caught in a fucking, like, the circuit breaker, weird shit like that, and it caused the fire. Something else that happened is post-production, Jack McGowan and Vasiliki Meliaros died.
Yeah, say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. Linda Blair, during one of the scenes when she was possessed, and I guess she was floating, levitating above the bed, something went wrong with the rigging system, and she really injured her back. I also know that the person who played Reagan's mom in the movie, when there's a scene where, like, Reagan, like, throws her across the room, apparently the scream in that scene was real because she actually really got injured. And apparently the injury still bothers her till today. So also moving on from there. Oh, the voice of Captain Howdy, who we figure out in the sequels, the demon's name is Pazuzu. But anyway, the voice actor for Pazuzu, her name was Mercedes McCambridge, and, she was an actress, and her son actually murdered his own wife and children and then took his own life. So, again, there's, some people that had a lot of tragedies that were tied into The Exorcist. But, like I said, there's a lot of other details to these stories, but I'm just kind of bringing it up for those of you who don't know. So, yeah, there was other deaths that were revolved around The Exorcist. So, that's pretty creepy to have all that curse behind there, especially because The Omen and The Exorcist are directly about, like, the devil or whatever, being there. So, people still to this day believe that there's a curse behind The Exorcist, and that every time someone tries to make another entry, like, bad shit happens and people die.
You think that carries over to the TV show?
That is a good question. You know what? I actually kind of forgot that there was an Exorcist TV show. Yeah. Now I'm kind of curious. Did anything bad happen to anyone who was involved in the TV series?
I know I didn't hear anything about it, but...
You know what? If I actually go out of my way to search, even if they're trying to milk it, like, oh, I stubbed my toe on the set, because they want to keep the curse going. Well, so that's cool. All right, I'm also going to move on now to the Poltergeist, just to brush upon this. So, the Poltergeist, something that's really fucked up is, in the original Poltergeist, they didn't tell any of the actors and actresses that the corpses that they were using were real, actual corpses.
Wait, like, how the fuck does that even happen?
I really don't know. I'm assuming maybe someone donated their body for... people always say for science. Obviously, this isn't for science. This is for a movie. But I don't know, because I know there have been other horror films out there that did use real cadavers, such as, what was that one called, like... There was one of the 8 films to Die For. Remember that? They used real corpses.
I don't know.
I forget what the fuck it was called. But, yeah, you almost wonder, how the fuck did they get permission to use real corpses.
Yeah.
And obviously, the corpses look really fucked up, like real nasty looking. But yeah, the actress, there's a scene where she's like in the pool with the dead bodies floating around. One's like face to face with her. She doesn't even realize, oh wow, I'm like floating around with real cadavers. So obviously, the fact that they use real bodies right off the bat, that gives them a reason to say, okay, some fucked up curse shit's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they use real human remains. Everyone knows Carol Ann was played by Heather O'Rourke. I'm not sure how to say her last name. But yeah, in the middle of shooting the third one, she died at 12 years old. She had some kind of like intestinal issues.
Oh wow.
But the whole thing is she was misdiagnosed the whole time. So because of that, she ended up dying. But if the doctor gave her the proper diagnosis, they could have prevented her death and all that. So, you know, it's kind of shit luck. Here's probably the most fucking scary thing. Everyone knows the fucking clown doll from the Poltergeist. They even really milked it for the remake, having it be the cover and all that. Here's the scary thing. So, Oliver Robbins, he played the little boy Robbie in the original. Apparently, the fucking clown was actually a mechanical clown. Well, do you know how he wraps up the boy and all that?
Yeah.
Apparently, the clown malfunctioned, and it started to strangle him and choke him. Everyone on set thought that he was just doing really convincing acting, so no one realized, like, oh my god, he's actually getting choked.
Right.
So, you know, that almost was a fatal accident, obviously, because I guess that kind of is a risk you take when you're acting like that. Like, if something goes wrong, how's people gonna know? Like, oh, she's really screaming in pain.
Right.
So yeah, so that's pretty creepy.
And that's like, you know, I don't really find clowns scary like normally, but I'll tell you what, if that shit fucking happened to me, I'd be terrified of clowns.
Obviously, the doll looks scary as is because it's for a horror film. So on top of that, it's actually choking your ass. So, and then the person who played the mom, Jo Beth Williams, she claimed, and this is I think this might be a stretch, but she claims, like, every night that she went home, like, there was pictures in her houses that were tilted, and she was convinced that someone was going in her house and moving shit around to fuck with her, maybe to get her in more of the mood, but no one's gonna break into your house, like, just because you're in a horror film, like, to freak you out more.
Right, yeah.
But, I don't know, that's a really crazy claim on top of that. Alright, so besides the whole clown doll thing strangling the kid, this is probably my most favorite besides that. So, everyone remembers in the sequel, there was that mystical shaman Native American dude. He actually was played by Will Sampson, but in real life, believe it or not, he actually was a real shaman. So, they got a real shaman to play a shaman in the Poltergeist. Well, anyway, apparently Will Sampson was so upset about, like, the Poltergeist curse that was going on with all the bad shit happening that he actually held up filming on the sequel in order to do a, like, blessing to cleanse the whole set.
Right.
So he actually held them up for several hours because he was so fucking freaked out by everything happening. And to be honest, if you do believe in that kind of crap, obviously you're probably going to get some bad juju for using real corpses in a fucking movie. Besides that, I know there was also some curses that are really infamous from, like, the Amityville horror franchise. I'm not sure if it's just the first entry or the whole fucking thing.
Right.
There's also some curses apparently behind Rosemary's Baby. Again, there might be some other ones, but, you know, hey guys, fill us in on some of the other details of these curses. Tell us about some of the other curses that we don't know about. And, you know, I just generally wanted to bring that up to make you aware of it, because, again, not every horror fan knows, like, oh, wow, there's real curses behind some of these really famous franchises. So, you know, I thought it would be cool just to bring that up and to start the discussion on that. So, I guess that's about it for our franchise curses. So, we'll be closing out now. So, Kurious Cyclopes
and Steve,
thank you for watching Never Sleep Again TV. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks, guys.